from issues in the health sector, let's move to issues in the education sector. We're going to Adaklu in the Volta region to look at school infrastructure that is inadequate, and because of that, it's causing concomitant problems. Now, just take a look at this.
Although the Adaklu district shares boundaries with the Volta regional capital of Ho, the stark difference in development and the availability of social amenities presents a wide inequality gap between the two places. In Adaklu Dawanu, which is about 20 minutes drive from Ho, children learn in classrooms like this, leaving them at the mercy of the weather.
60% of the students in the school here, generally 60%, because the villages that are around are many. Like, yes, this is only the closest school. So you realize that they are coming to school, the average coming to school is very low here.
I also see that your classroom is without furniture, it's without walls. What happens when it rains?
When it rains, no lessons goes on again. We just park ourselves at where the rain will not disturb us.
We're entering into the rainy season, so it means that for the next how many months to come, you wouldn't have effective classes?
Yes, that one there is true. It's true. When it rains, nothing goes on, and actually, it's a problem to us. So we'll be very happy if these philanthropies, NGOs will come to our aid and help.
The headmistress of the school, Madam Georgina Titiati, told City News, a bungalow meant to house the head teacher has been converted to classrooms for JHS Forms 2 and 3.
The main challenge facing the school is traveling to the school, and then our classrooms.
Okay.
The students, most of the students, about 60% of them come from far villages to the school. And when it rains too, they don't get access to the school easily because of the muddy nature of the road. So they come late, and when they come to, they'll be tired. And when you are teaching, when they are teaching, they'll be dull because of the tiredness. Yeah.
How about your classroom blocks? I mean, a lot of them are without walls and furniture. How do you manage when it rains?
When it rains, you see them parking at where there is a little bit covering, so that they will go and hide there. And when that is stormy, then you see them getting wet.
Wow.
Yeah.
How about their books? What happens to their books?
And they put them in their bags. Those that are not fortunate, theirs will get wet.
Wow. Tell me about the block behind you. Is it a classroom? What is it?
This naturally should be a headmaster's bungalow. But because the JSS, we don't have a classroom for them, we are using it as a classroom for now. J1, J2, J2 and 3 are inside, and the J1 is occupying one of the primary classrooms.
Okay, I know you've been receiving some helps from philanthropies and who have you. Tell me about a few of them and what more you need for this school to run and become accessible to the children.
Right now, they started, Friends of Adaklu started with giving us bicycles for some of the students. If they can give more, or even give us a school bus, we'll be very happy. Okay. And then if they can also help to crowd the rest of the classroom for us. Then the JSS block 2, we have started it. They have laid the foundation, but it's not completed. So if they can help us to complete it, or even raise a shade, so that we can sit under it for a meantime, it will help us.
Okay, I mean, engaging with some of the girls in the community, I could tell that teenage pregnancies is very prevalent here. Yeah. Tell me about it. How is that affecting your intake, your student population? And are the girls coming back to school?
Yeah. Right now in Form 3, we have about 4 of them back to the school. After giving birth, yes, they are back to school. So when they get pregnant like that, those that are not feeling shy, they come to the school. And when it is time for them to give birth, they will go and give birth and come back. Even the recent BEC that they wrote, 2 people were pregnant before going there. One of them gave birth the very day they started the exam. That Monday dawn, she gave birth before going to write the first paper.
Aside from the poor infrastructure, these school children are forced to walk nearly 2 hours to and fro school on a daily basis. Some girls who have dropped out of school have blamed the sheer distance they cover to access education as their reason for opting out.
So the phenomenon around Golokope is that a lot of the young ladies who attempt going to school for a number of reasons stop along the way and become teenage mothers. And key among the challenges is the distance that they have to cover to get to school. Another challenge is the lack of electricity, which makes learning difficult for them, and a few other things. But key amongst them is the distance. And Alberta is one of such girls that I'm going to speak with. Alberta, apa full name Yanuka?
Amo Alberta.
Amo Alberta. Class 9 na afi pasku.
Form 1.
Form 1. Okay. Ta no school there. As you fia ko school there. Abe how many minutes nene?
1 hour.
About 1 hour. Okay. Ta fifie epene na hofie.
16.
Okay. For GVD. Devia tole fia. Okay. Aga trois quoi.
Nyumanya hara.
That's it. Menyana aga trois quoi reko. Okay. Pene devia hofie.
1.5.
1.5. If you have a GVA of 15 years, 14 to 15 years. Okay. So Alberta says she got pregnant between 14 and 15 years, and she used to walk almost an hour from this community to the closest school, which is at Adaklu Dawanu. And now she's fallen victim to teenage pregnancy. Her child is about 1.5 years old, and she's not sure whether she would go back to school.
Ndako.
How did it tell? Okay, over Magasana Melodies.
Merci.
Tanak Magasori, I got to the school. If you are Angela Simego, I love you at the strong.
Oh,
At the strong high school.
my school.
Let you be a bazu.
Teacher.
That's the teacher. So Salih Fuhawa is 15 years and she stopped school at JHS 1. She's not, telling me why she stopped school, but she says she used to walk about 30 minutes from her community to school, and that used to be a major issue for her. She's selling with her mother now in the market. Of course, today is a market day, and a lot of the students are in the market selling. The major challenge for them is the access to education.
Fortunately for some students of Adaklu Dawanu Salvation Army Basic School, an NGO called Friends of Adaklu has donated some bicycles to the children under a Pedal to Excellence program, which now helps in cutting down the journey time to school for Ajara and her little sister, among others. Ajara's father, Umar Ali, said he wished that all his children will access education, but for the distance they ought to cover in doing so.
If you need a Sophia,
yeah, every 5.
okay. How many need a school then?
Over.
Engage if you put them.
Kazoliata, Aleazolia, young Bogontan, Mano, Boko, but I tell Yata Mogata Yimo, Atomova, Queba, Yano managing.
Are you even a young view? Don't you?
On yon view some over.
Tade Leke Zoliano, no, Chufia, Kaira Davan, why school?
O Ajinto, Ata Baruno, you Boha, Nanka Baruguara, me phone about no Yoba, the Vita Brava, the town. Chichitok with Jack Babavi, Babliafi, the Vitota Janayum.
Nanye monk quarterly, the visit to Hana, Mafia Catosco.
O Cataoiga. Not me Quaba, not monk quarter, and Musado, Lamiachivia, Edbo Catawano, the visit to Ajwano, Yingakaleas or Laying Bogbonta, Yata Maruhamo Imoro.
Okay, I have if you own Nagaso, young Viareca, or Hanovia Comrade, like you will have
Or Via Caramaucha. A Caramaucha, yeah.
If you want to choke, is quite.
If you are not conto to phone about Daruko. Namaracamo Yohota Fona, Wadraba Gasota at Okuho Vifia. At Otafona Cabaco, Draruco, Calcono, Viacojo. Umaru Ali.
So Umaru Ali is father of the children. He's the father of the house here, and he says that he has 5 children, but 2 out of them are going to school. The rest are too young to walk about 45 minutes to access quality education at Adaklu Dawanu, and because of that, 3 are home, and the rest 2 that are trying as much as possible to go to school have been blessed with a bicycle now, and that urges them on to go to school. And he says that if there were the capacity to support the other children, he wished that all his family would have gone to school.
Country Director for Friends of Adaklu and Headmistress for Adaklu Business School, Madam Stella Kuda, in a City News interview, made a call to all and sundry to help keep children in school, especially in Adaklu.
All right, so I've implemented a lot of projects here in Adaklu, and we started our project here in Dawanu, and some of it is providing sponsorship for needy but brilliant students. We have currently about 68 students that we are sponsoring, and our newest project, which is Pedal to Excellence, is giving bicycles to children that come all the way from Golokope. That is about 45 to 1 hour journey to school, and we've given some out. So all we are calling out is to anyone, any donor who is ready to support this initiative to provide bicycles to our girls, especially the girls that walk all the way from Golokope, Dome, Peji, and Adakope, all the way to Dawanu. It's really stressful. When they get to school, they get tired. The class, they've learned about like 2 hours or probably two.
All right, so we took you to Adaklu, Adaklu Dawanu, the school there. And I think I like the idea of the bicycle intervention. Yeah. Because for me, you're looking at fixing a transportation problem, right? But at the same time, it's actually a very good, healthy practice for the young people to be able to cycle, you know. And at the same time, it's not overly stressful because you will cover massive distances in a relative shorter time, you know.
Easier to
so
maintain.
Easier to maintain, exactly, a vehicle and all of that. And this one, you are empowering the students to choose to go to school, as opposed to saying that the trotro is full, you know, so now you have to walk. Now you decide to walk or not. Everybody has your own bike, and you're able to move, you know. So I think that intervention is a brilliant one, and as many as can help to supply more bicycles to the school. So I think it will be a brilliant, intervention. Yeah.
And again, it's also a reminder that when young people, especially young girls, don't have easy access to school, then they're prone to certain social vices or teenage pregnancy. You know, the headmistress did say that some did still come and write their exams and continue their school,
which I think is
good.
Very important.
You know, that they can accommodate them. It's important, but obviously we don't want the teens getting pregnant in the first place. You know, so if they don't have easy access to school and they're left to their devices or at home to do whatever, the likelihood that they could end up being very, very young mothers is very high. So, you know, it's another reason why we need our eyes on these kinds of things. And they're not asking for much. Decent classroom structures. When it rains, they can't go to school. You know, so they're looking at a stretch of time where their schooling could be interrupted because of the rainy season. You know, just basic things that we sometimes forget.
But you see, some would also then argue that, well, I mean, you have classroom blocks. Some people are still under trees.
This is like a hybrid one.
Yeah, I know,
You've
right?
got some blocks and then some that are not, you know, proper structures. And then converted, what was it, the headmaster's residence is now being used as classroom just so that they can accommodate the students.
It is tough, man.
It
is tough.
It's heavy. It's heavy. Yeah. Stark reminder that situation around the country, there are lots of things that need to be addressed in other parts of the country. You know, Accra is a bit of a bubble sometimes. Even in Accra.
Yeah, we have
we've got challenges. But this is why we bring this segment so that people can
actually see for
yourself what's going
on. The real Ghana, you know. Yeah. I think it's an important intervention for the NGOs that, you know, provided those bicycles. I mean, I really want to say it again and try and implore on everybody that's watching, if you have a little that you can afford to, you know, give, these schools out there need all the help that they can get. Look, these schools, their children are going to compete with children in Accra for the same BCE,
exact same,
you know,
exact same.
What's it called? All those things, they're going to compete at the same level, you know. So It's difficult.
Yeah. Imagine your education being truncated at this level just because you didn't have a level playing field with students in other areas, you know.
Yeah.
It's highly unfair. It really is. But it looks like we'll be talking to the District Education Director for Adaklu. His name is Mr. Francis Yao. So let's just quickly find out from him what efforts, if any, are being made to help this school. Well, good morning. Welcome to Breakfast Daily.
Good morning.
All right, thank you for joining us. So we just want to find out from you what plans the GHS has for helping this school in Adaklu.
It's a very difficult situation, and for this office itself is unable to help this situation, but fortunately an NGO has come to our aid to some extent to help some of the children.
Mr. Yao, why is your outfit unable to help the school?
With respect to Dawanu.
Yes.
Is it not in connection with the student commuting from far away to the school?
Yes.
Yes, and then the structures, the lack of proper classroom infrastructure, because when it rains, the students cannot come, and yes, some of them live very far away.
For the infrastructure, that is the responsibility of the district assembly. The responsibility of the Ghana Education Service is for the school to use part of their capitation grant to do minor repairs. But when it comes to major repairs and raising infrastructure, that is the responsibility of the central government and that of the district assembly. We've drawn the attention several times, but the complaint has been lack of funds. They've initiated some other programs which are ongoing, but it has not come to the turn of Dawanu yet. For the children commuting from very far areas, you know, we could not establish any school near to them because we look at enrollment, the sustainability of the school, and this depends on whether we will continue to get children from there. Most of these, the parents of most of these children are settlers, and the population there is very small, so we are unable to establish school for them. But we encourage them to commute to the nearest school, which is Dawanu. Since most of them are very young, moving there has been a problem for them. But plans are put for KG to be established in some of these communities, so that by the time they get to class 1, they would have come of age where they can easily commute to the nearest school.
Okay. It looks like we don't have much time to continue, but we thank you for talking with us this morning. Again, that's Mr. Francis Yao, the Adaklu District Education Director, just basically saying that his outfit is their hands are a bit tied with regard to how much they can do to help the school currently. I mean, should we say there's a bit of passing the buck? Oh, well, this one is responsible for this. We know, okay, fine. But district education... It's a school.
It's a school. It's a school under your watch.
Under your watch. So you would expect maybe a bit more effort to push for the infrastructure they need.
Even if it's the assembly, why are you not pushing for the assembly to do what they should do? Yeah. Do you see?
Well, maybe it's easy for us to sit here and talk. Maybe on the ground things are a bit more complicated.
Yeah,
but
maybe.
But I don't know. I didn't really hear any urgency.
No, there isn't. No, there isn't. That's why the place is in the state in which it is. There is no urgency.
I think we should take a break.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Yeah, when we come back,
yeah,
we'll still have music from Titan. We'll have entertainment highlights as well.
Yeah.
And Dr. Kelvin Usu is here. and he's been traveling. So we hope he brought us chocolates.
Listen,
because if he came empty-handed,
listen, you read my mind.
Doc.
You read my mind, Kokui.
We came to sit here early to interview him.
We're going to take a short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.